Hi there, this is Jen, and thanks for joining me. I hope you are well today. Today I'm participating in a blog and video hop. So along the way, there will be both blogs and videos. I will be doing a video, but as you go along on the hop, you might be moving back and forth between blogs and videos. And the hop theme is use it up or dig it out. And so it was up to each of us our own interpretation of what that was. For me, I wanted to use an item that I don't often use, and I had a lot of different items to choose from, but I did end up choosing to use my washi tape. I love washi tape. I love the patterns. I don't have any of the really cool thick washi tapes, but maybe one day I will get those. So I just have basically, the traditional tape size washi tapes, and decided I would go ahead and create 5 cards using washi tape. So for this first card, I'm just taking a card panel and grabbed my gelatos, which I never use, and I just kind of spread a little bit of those on a piece of laminated cardstock and wet those down, and then use that as a splatter for my background. And then the first washi tape I'm using is this gold circles washi tape, and I'm just randomly tearing it in different thicknesses and putting it down on my card panel. A lot of washi tape is transparent, so it's really cool to see the effects that you can get when you layer that on top of each other. I am just using one washi tape, but it would be really cool to see, some different patterns of washi tape layered on top of each other. For the focal point for this card, I am using the stamp set by Wendy Vecchi. And I've gone ahead and used some Catherine Pooler inks to ink that stamp up. And then I'm going to go ahead and take my card panel and use some double-sided adhesive to adhere that to my base. And then I had gone ahead and stamped up my sentiment using some VersaFine Clear, and it didn't come out as clear as I wanted. So to cover that up, I went ahead and stamped that sentiment off on a separate piece of paper and then just adhered that over the messed up portion. And then I'm going to take my double-sided adhesive again and adhere that flower. And then using my Red Top Fine Line glue to adhere my sequins. And that will complete this card. As I mentioned, I'm making 5 cards. They are all pretty quick and easy to do, especially the last one. The last one is probably like a 2-minute card. It's super quick. So for the next card, I've grabbed 4 washi tapes, and I just grabbed them based on their color and their pattern, and I knew I was going to use some dies for this, and so I went ahead and grabbed these dies from my stash. These are Sizzix Tim Holtz dies. They are part of that collection that has all those flower stamps, and I don't think I rarely use these dies, so I thought I'd go ahead and try them for this card. And so all I did was I took the dies and placed them over the washi tape and then ran that through my die cut machine. And then I will also add some more washi tape to the bottom of that cardstock. And then I cut out several more stems and then one more flower piece. And this is a really cool way to use washi tape, not just for like florals, but for sentiments and really any dies. I think the washi tape would look really cool, especially if you layered or did different patterns. And then I grabbed this butterfly hand punch from my stash, and I cut out 3 butterflies, but I do only end up using 1 on the card. And then I grabbed my Zig Clean Color brush markers in pale green and light pink. And I'm just making a something to ground the flowers at the bottom of the card panel. And so I'll just go ahead and spread that marker, and then I take my water brush and spread that ink out. And then for this card, I'm going to be doing some inlay die cutting, and then also some uh, I want to call it off the edge die cutting. I know that's not what it's called. So basically, I didn't want it to cut all the way to the bottom of the card. And so I did not put that portion of the card in between the die cutting plates. At the end, it does not really matter because I cover the bottom up with a sentiment, but I did not know. And if you know how I make cards, I a lot of times don't, not that I don't plan out my cards, I do have somewhat of an idea, but a lot of times I don't have a step by step. It kind of changes as I go along a lot of the times, and so I wasn't really sure what sentiment I was going to use, and so but I did get an idea from doing this that I'm going to use on another card that I think is really cool. But I went ahead and I took another piece of cardstock and I covered that with double-sided adhesive. And that's, for me, that I think that's the easiest way to go ahead and adhere these die cut shapes to do the inlay die cutting. And so I'm just going to go ahead and adhere the stems and the flower pieces onto my card. And then up on the top of the screen, you can see the sentiment that says smile. I was going to use that and then decided not to. And so I end up using an old Spellbinders die, and it says thank you. And it's one of those strip dies that goes all the way across the card. And so I went ahead and run that die through my die cutting machine and pop that up with some foam squares. And then for the embellishments on the card, I add some little confetti pieces, and then I add that one little die cut butterfly, and that will complete this card. It's really interesting what kind of patterns you get when you put that washi tape down and then have a die to cut it out. I really love this washi tape. It's super pretty. So for this card, I pulled out 6 washi tapes. I think I only used 5 of them though. So when I was grabbing the washi tape for this card, I knew that I wanted there to be patterns on it, but not like stripes or dots or anything like that. So all of these washi tapes have some kind of fairly busy pattern. There's some birds and then some florals and then just some other, I think there's some flourishes. I don't know what those things are called. I can't think of it. Anyhow, I went ahead and covered the entire piece of cardstock with the washi tape, and then I ran those through and just cut different strips using my paper trimmer in no particular size. And then I just took my scissors and cut triangles out of all of those pieces of paper. And I went ahead and laid those triangles out on my piece of cardstock, and then used a piece of press and seal to keep those all in place so that it would be a lot easier to glue those and adhere those instead of doing it piece by piece. And so I'm just taking my red top fine line glue again and placing glue on the back of all of those pieces of washi tape, and then I will take my card panel and press that into that those glued pieces, and then make sure that they're adhered. And then I'll peel back my press and seal, and then it picked up one piece that I just had to glue down again. I'm going to go ahead and trim off all those excess pieces that are off the sides and adhere that piece to my card panel. And then I'm using the sentiment that says "You are so awesome." I thought just a plain black sentiment would be fine just because of all the busyness of the pattern in the background. And then I took these little round kind of like paper confetti pieces in silver and adhered those as well. And that will complete that card. This next card is probably my favorite. I'm just using a single roll of washi tape with this really pretty gold and teal pattern. And then this is my favorite stencil right now. This is by Picket Fence Studios. I will leave a link in the description below, of course, of all of the, or as most of the products that I use. And then I just took some gold embossing powder and embossed Happy Mother's Day onto the card. And then I add a few little embellishments, and that will finish this one off. So really super quick card, combining some washi tape with stenciling. And I have one Mother's Day card done. Mother's Day is May 10th, by the way, if you didn't know. Father's Day is June 21st. I have it on my calendar. So this last card is probably the quickest card I've ever made. I've just taken some really colorful rainbow colored washi tape and placed one piece on the right and left side of the card, and I left a slight white border on each side. And then I'm taking my fancy scissors, which I absolutely adore. I don't think I'll ever get rid of them because they come in so many different patterns, and they're just awesome, super convenient. And so I'm going to go ahead and take this Ranger stamp set and ink up the stamp. It says Happy Birthday to You. And I've grabbed 3 colors, and I will go ahead and ink that up and place that on my panel. And then that panel will be popped up with some foam tape and placed over the rainbow washi tape. And then I will add a few embellishments, and that will finish off this card. I hope you enjoyed the cards I created, and then maybe it encourages you to grab an item from your stash that you don't use often and use it up. If you liked this video or found it informative, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up. The next participant in the hop will be linked below in the description, so please go ahead and check that out. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.